everybody, this is Bernie from Stampset and welcome to another Friday card making session. I've had to grab a gap with this videoing of this particular card because we are currently having scaffolding erected around our house. We're having our roof replaced and all of the exterior of our house repainted, and we live on a double story and we live down a very steep driveway, so there's been a lot of noise the last few hours, and so the guys have gone off site. So I decided, right, let me quickly grab this gap to make this card with you and video this card so that you can enjoy it with me. So today's card is going to be featuring the beautiful new in colors for 2022-2024. Some of them are going to be featured here, and I also am going to be featuring the Wildflower Path stamp set. Now this stamp set is both in the mini catalogue from January to June, but it has also carried over into the annual catalogue, and I really am pleased about that. So I'm going to show you how I created this card, and it involves a little bit of two-step stamping. It also involves a little bit of watercoloring of the background. So heaps of fun to be made here today. So let's get started. So I've used my normal standard cutting dimensions of 8 1/4 by 5 1/2 and scored that at 4 1/8, and you can just set that to the side for now. Then I have cut a narrower piece of cardstock by 1/8, and that is going to form the background. So if you have a look, you can see I have made my own designer series paper. One of the reasons I've done that is because shipping is taking a lot longer to come from New Zealand, or come to New Zealand rather, and we are having to come up with some inventive ways of making do with what we have. So my in colors all arrived some weeks ago, and I am running a retreat in a couple of weeks time from the 27th to the 29th of May, and the paper that I had on my shipment hoping to get here in time, I don't think is going to get here on time. So I had to come up with a plan, so I made my own designer series paper. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So Orchid Oasis is the color of choice. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can either squeeze your stamp pad really well, and you should get some pigmentation there. That's one way of doing it. Or you can use your stamping ink, re-inkers, and you can then drop some drops in there. So both ways work. I've also used the broader water painter, and I've filled it with water, and I am literally just going to use this ink to paint my background. Now how dark or how light you make your background really is up to you. I just have to keep checking the camera this time. I've turned my phone to a different position while I'm recording, and I'm not used to it covering the area that it's covering today. So I just have to keep checking that I'm actually on the camera. Okay, so once you've done that, you can close your ink. Do just remember, if you've never used Stampin' Up ink pads before, you do want to listen for that click, and you want to make sure that it's flush. So with the stamping, with the water inkers, I just dab it and squeeze, because it does actually tell you over here, can you see there, it says push, and that's how you get the water out. But the other way is to just pull it through, but do be careful that you don't get that on your card. Close the brushes in there so that they don't dry out, and I'm going to set this one to the side because I've actually taken the liberty, for the sake of time, and also because I don't know when these guys might come back. I did one earlier, and I've embossed it as I did with the previous card with the new Hive 3D embossing folder. So that has given this beautiful finished look, and I am going to glue that onto my card base with my Tombow glue. So there we go. So not only are we dealing with tradies to come and replace the roof, which is something that we have initiated. We're going to repaint it, but it's too old. It needs to be redone completely. So that's fine. So we've initiated that work, and having the house exterior repainted. But some of you may or may not know, but last Tuesday we had a little mini house fire. Our pantry caught light as a result of our toaster being on just randomly on when we went to bed at night. We weren't aware of it being on in the pantry, and we've got a roller door that we close in our pantry, and it caught fire, and so thankfully our fire alarms were working and woke us up with the smoke, and we rushed through 40 minutes after going to bed, fast asleep. I was exhausted that night. Very, very quickly woke up, and to discover that we had, I couldn't find the source of the fire, but eventually we found it to be the toaster in our pantry. So that was rather scary. All right, so what I did there was I just grabbed some of the vellum that's also in the current mini catalogue, and I've just popped it over there and I glued it. Now normally I don't glue vellum, but because this is going to go over there, you're not actually going to see it. But I'm just looking here, and I see there are some spots that are not on there, so let's just push that down and push this down. So yes, so it's been the last 10 days, just that, that inconvenience of not having a pantry, but I keep reminding myself that I could have been sitting here without a house, so it's sobering, really. Okay, let's do the stamping. So the first bit that we're going to do is do the grass. So the grass is this stamp set over here, this bit here, and I'm going to do that in the gorgeous green Parakeet Party. It is such a pretty green, and a lot of people have been wondering, if I've got Granny Apple Green, do I need another green? And this one is more sort of a lime green, so it definitely gives a different look to than what if you had Granny Apple Green. And now I'm going to do a stamp off and just come in and just fill in, just to give it a little bit of interest. Okay, so we've got the grass. Now I'm going to be using this gorgeous stamp, and it's that one over here, to create these flowers. So actually, is that the right one I want to start off with? Let me just check. Yes, it is. It is. So again, I'm using my Parakeet Party, and I'm just going to turn this at a slight angle, and I'm actually going to put this on a mat because I can feel that's not stamping properly. Sorry, my cord is in the way again. I tried to move this last time that it wasn't in the way of the camera. So I'm just going to ink that up again and hold that down. Perfect. Now with the slightly longer one, I'm just moving this. I can't ink it on the left hand side. Alright, just push that down, and I'm now going to do this guy, and I'm going to bring this one in a lot higher. Okay, that's Parakeet Party done with. Now we're going to create these blossoms with sweet sorbet. So I am going to also do some second generation stamping with that one. I just want to get that ink off. So it's this stamp. So I'm going to first, second generation, so stamp it off. And I'm going to just position this over there. And I'm going to do the same here. Okay. And then I'm coming in with the contrast, which looks like that. So it's this stamp and it's all in one. And I'm going to come with the full strength sorbet, and I'm just coming over that image like that. And like that. So there, look at that. Pretty, 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 pretty. So that's sweet sorbet. Very pretty color. Now for the blue little blossoms over here, I am using Tahitian Tide. And I'm just going to get rid of that. And let's just make sure that I've got these guys right way. I do believe it's the right way, hopefully. I just want to make sure before I stamp it. I believe that's the right way. Okay, so Tahitian. And now I'm coming over here. Let me just find that. Coming. Okay. No, it is that way. No, it's not. Sorry, guys. It's this way. Going that way. And I'm coming in again here. And I am going there. All right. Now the speckles are done with my paintbrush. So I'm just going to look for the one that I used. It was a slightly harder one, and it was Starry Sky that I used. The same thing, you just need to squeeze your ink pad. Oh, it hasn't come through yet. Just squeeze, squeeze. I find this hurts my hands too much. It's not really the one I use. There we go. It's not really the one I normally use. But if you find it hurts your hands too much, as it does with me, then just add some drops. So I'm getting this with some water. And then I'm going to take my quick pick tool, and I'm literally holding it up here, and I'm just hitting it with my tool. And you can decide how many you want. I think that's enough. Okay, I'll set that to the side. Just let that dry quickly, because we are now going to, you can also, if you want to, you can use your heat tool to do this step. And now using Starry Sky, I am going to stamp the sentiment. Do not go where the paths may lead, go instead where there is no path. Don't know why, but that makes me think of Nelson Mandela. I don't know why, but it just does. Okay, so I've just left it. You saw what I did there. I just put my ink, my stamp onto the ink pad to absorb that. And now I'm coming in the middle, holding that down and lifting. And now what we can do is we just need to stick it down here, and then we are done. So isn't this a beautiful card? Such a stunning, stunning card. And you can just put it at a slight angle. Be careful if those dots are still damp. They should be all right to touch now, but do just be careful. And voila, you have a gorgeous, gorgeous card, all done using the beautiful new in colors. So with that one over there, I actually landed up putting the Orchid Oasis over the top, and with this one, as you saw, I two-stepped with the Sweet Sorbet. I personally prefer this one. Which one of the two do you prefer? Other than that, they both pretty much the same. This one with the blue, I think I might have done it even 3 times, but I'm still quite happy with the blue there. But what a gorgeous, gorgeous card to give somebody that you want to inspire them. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Don't overlook that stamp set in the catalogue, the Wildflower Path stamp set. Like I say, it's both in the mini catalogue as well as in the annual catalogue. And remember to go on to my blog, stampanite.com. Make sure that you also follow me on any of my other channels as well. And do remember to please subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't already done that. That would be most appreciated. So remember, until we meet again, stamp, eat, sleep, repeat.